Sir Arthur Dane?
The sword of the morning.
Father said he was the best swordsman he ever saw.
One of the best things about being able to go back with Bran and look at the past is to be able to see the discrepancy between the received history, the things that everybody knows about the things that happened, and what actually happened.
Every kid who grows up in Westeros, they all hear about this legendary sword fight that took place 20 years ago, and as far as Bran knew, it's just his father beat this legendary guy.
And now it begins.
No. Now it ends.
Honor is a kind of wished-for state amongst certain members of the society who want to be the best possible versions of themselves, and they want to live and die bravely and fighting, you know, with this according to a certain code. And certainly Ned embodied that better than anyone we've seen, I think, on the show.
He's better than my father.
Far better.
My father beat him.
Did he?
But one thing to remember about this fight is this is at the end of a long rebellion in which Ned and Howland have seen many thousands of people die due to the insanity of the Mad King, who these Kingsguard are sworn to follow.
So honor was so important to Ned Stark that it was worth losing his own life for, but he was completely ready to let go of that honor and excellence to do something that he really felt was more important. It could make a very, very strong defense for Ned doing what he did, but it certainly does puncture the mythology of Ned Stark that's running through this world, especially after his death. I think when Dany returns to Vaes Dothrak, it's obviously with a certain sense of dread, because she knows that these widows of the former Khals are not likely to welcome her with open arms. It's not like, oh, long-lost sister, where have you been? It's, here's a funny-looking, white-haired girl who has put herself on record as thinking she's all that and stringing a bunch of highfalutin titles after her name. But the High Priestess of the Dosh Khaleen is not coming at it from the perspective of somebody who's looking to punish this young person with inflated ideas of her own greatness. I think she remembers what it was like to think that a glorious destiny awaited her and to find out that that wasn't the case. I think the High Priestess has a certain amount of empathy with Dany's position that you see in the way she relates to her, which is stern, but not quite as awful as anybody might have expected it to be. Jon coming back to life was something that the first version we wrote originally had more talking. And as we saw it on the page written out, we realized it was just too much dialogue. We decided to just give the kind of awe of that moment its due.
We're talking about the idea that you do lose something and that you're forever changed. Not in the supernatural way. I mean, he's still Jon, but he's been dead. That is a haunting experience, because if that really is what's beyond, and what's beyond is nothing, just the terror of knowing that.
What do you remember?
They stopped me. I shouldn't be here.
To remember your own death and yet be sitting here and seeing evidence of what happened to you on your own body, that is existentially terrifying.
It's learning how to live with the memory of being murdered, which is the experience of absolutely no one in this world.
I did what I thought was right, and I got murdered for it. And now I'm back.